pretty cool. Huh. Checking out this new thing called WeChat. In fact, there was recently a launch, and of course, the crew of Gadget Nation popped on down to discuss what really makes it stand out with all the competitors out there like WhatsApp. So, WeChat, why is it worth it?
WeChat, a mobile social communication platform, a product from Tencent, the largest internet company in China, has been scaling fast globally, and within just 2 years, they have garnered about 300 million downloads. And what's driving this success, next to me, is Mr. Po Xiong. He's the Vice President for International Business for Tencent, to tell us more about WeChat. So WeChat was launched in Malaysia in June 2012. And how has it been so far since it was officially launched here?
Well, I think it was a fantastic year for us since last year, 2012 June. And we have seen like tremendous growth over the past 12 months, and particularly after we launched the TVC commercial in a couple of days, we actually see, well, I would say the pretty crazy growth in the past couple of days alone. So all in all, I think today we are about like 50% penetration to the smartphone user base, and also based on the numbers, the metrics, the usage metrics that we have, we actually believe Malaysia is definitely one of the most exciting markets that we have, as all the numbers been very encouraging, and our goal is to actually put more local touch into the local market.
When you mean local touch, what kind of localization you're talking about?
Well, localization in terms of like, at the product level, we already support Bahasa. But on the other hand, we also want to put in local teams, local maybe business development guys, to talk to more local merchants and local users to more understand like, how the local users actually use our product, and also work with the local brands to expand the marketing efforts, social media marketing, that kind of efforts with us together.
If you look at within this region, Southeast Asia, we have a field of competitors in the mobile social communication platform.
Right.
If I were to name some, would be WhatsApp and Line would have been some of the dominant ones for the time being. So what are the plans for WeChat to perhaps capture this consumer base, and what's the differentiation?
Well, I think we do have a lot of differentiations both at the product level and also at the strategy level. So at the product level, we always believe that our Hold to Talk feature is actually the most user-friendly feature, which you can basically just like one touch and then talk to your friend, and that's pretty straightforward to use. At the strategy level, I think we're also trying to be very local. So I believe we are probably one of the first companies actually set up and try to do more local work here in Malaysia. So that's, to me, and I think to the local market, it's already a very big differentiation, I believe. I
read that Tencent is also looking to venture the US market. And if we talk about global expansion and talk about localization, at the time being, WeChat is still somewhat branded as a Chinese-made product with a predominantly Chinese user base. How do you plan to cut across this social, demographic, cultural barrier? Do you see that as a barrier for you?
Well, we actually don't see it as a barrier at all. I mean, the press or a lot of people talk about this, but from our perspective, it is called WeChat for international markets. It is on social, it is on open platforms like, iOS, Google Play, and users are already downloading it. I think the most important part for us is we see people like and loving our applications and download it. And we see based on the numbers that, for example, in Malaysia, people are really active. And that's why we decided to come here and spend more efforts, working with the local markets, and which is the same as our competitors as well too. So, and we do believe as long as you have a good product, you don't really need to worry about all this. You can put all those things behind the scene and then just focus on the product, and users will know that.
So moving forward for Tencent, for WeChat itself, are you planning to focus on monetizing this product or capturing consumer base first?
Well,
how is it like?
I think our short to medium term goal is definitely to continue to acquire more users, to build up the user base. Monetization can come later. This is not something that we're in a hurry to do, for sure. And for the most part, for us, it's really part of our Tencent company culture is to build a good product for the user first. The rewards will come later.
Okay, what are your thoughts about this current social mobile space? And they're saying there's this competition between desktop and mobile, because mobile is the way forward, right? So how do you see it?
I mean, if you compare like PC versus mobile, I mean, there are a lot of numbers and a lot of reports out there already saying for any major internet companies, over 50% of their traffic is already from mobile. So I don't think you can say that it's a competition at all anymore. The future is mobile internet. Now the question is, mobile internet industry is still very early stage right now. I mean, there's still so many things that you can do, and nobody knows what actually needs to be done, honestly speaking, okay, even though some of the big players. Because, back in the old days, if you look at the internet company, the typical cycle would be like what, 5 to 7 years. Now, if you look at the mobile internet, things happen much quicker. I think we have a lot to learn here as well too, but I think we just don't want to waste any more time and just dive into the market first. And WeChat is going to be our focus for now.
Speaking about all this you mentioned just now, so I read about your profile. You did work in Google and Oracle before this, and now you're in China. So you have seen some of the biggest tech companies. You worked there. So maybe perhaps you could tell us a bit more about what do you observe in terms of differentiation or similarities in terms of these two huge booming markets? Well said. I mean, US has already been there, but China is a really exciting place.
Right. Well, I have to say, to my surprise, ever since I came back from the States, I have to say, things happened in Asia is actually a lot faster. People adopting to new stuff, new technologies, new applications, and everything is actually a lot faster. The sad part though is people also live faster. So they try apps and then they try it for 3 months or less, and then they just say, oh no, I don't need this anymore. So that's why I said, for us at this time, there's no point for us to even think about monetization. We want to make sure that users will actually stay with us and continue to use and love WeChat first. That's more important. This is actually interesting time period right now because we have seen a lot of innovative ideas. It's actually coming out from Asia these times, in the mobile internet world. So, from one of the industry person, I really feel exciting to see all these interesting things happening in Asia, and well, we'll see.
What are your observations so far?
Our observation here is a lot of the Southeast Asian countries users, they love to try different apps. They really love adapting to different apps and games and everything. And the thing is, they're hungry for information. They're hungry for content, which is technically speaking the same as other countries. But I think, like I said, in Southeast Asia, in Asia in general, people just move a lot faster.